Good day, ladies and gentlemen. 5 things you would like to do before Warzone Caldera drops to be ready to have a smooth launch, to be ready gameplay-wise to dominate every single person on the map, and maybe improve your gameplay the one or the other bit. Let's start with a very simple thing at first. You want to turn off parachute auto deploy. Trivial if you're one, not so trivial for others. If you're looking at the Warzone Caldera map, it's had a lot of verticalities, and there probably might be a situation where your parachute just auto deploys because you're flying over a ledge. Boom, it suddenly pulls. Just turn this off. You want to pull your parachute. When you pull your parachute, you want to land first. Yes, this will probably get you knocked the one or the other time, but all in all, the parachute auto deploy, turn it off. Also, I do play automatic sprint over automatic tac sprint on mouse and keyboard because I want to determine when I actually tactical sprint. If I need to tactical sprint, I'll just shift that shift button and we're fine to go. But all in all, I'm mostly just auto sprinting. I mean, auto sprint is definitely a must, but automatic tac sprint, I would say a no for me. Now let's talk about slide canceling. Some of you might not want to slide cancel or still don't understand how to slide cancel. There's actually 2 very important methods. First and foremost, you gotta put the crouch behavior on toggle, not on hold, because this one press, it happens, but if you stop pressing, it doesn't happen. So toggle. If you need to for it to hold, that's gonna be a pain for your slide cancel. On top of that, in my movement guide, I talked about it. On my crouch slide, it's actually my mouse 5 button. That would be here. Why is that on my mouse 5 button? Usually, if you have your crouch on C, you kind of have to move a finger away. So you're on WASD, and then your thumb could do it, or you would have to move one of your fingers, your pointy finger, for example, away, while A and W is still taken by these 2. I mean, obviously, controller players have it a little bit different there, but I tried to emulate what controller players do, and they separate the inputs. So you actually do have them do the movement with one and the slide canceling with the other. So their movement is unimpeded when you're sliding. That's why I put it on my mouse. Now, in order to get the slide cancel done, there are 2 ways. You could do the triple C tab or the CC jump. The triple C tab is actually very simple. You essentially just go for slide, and where the slide ends, you press C, C. So in order to abort the slide, you'll press C again, or your mouse button. So essentially what I do is I slide and I do this. Here's my thumb, slide. As you can see, it's like very easy with the mouse side button. You don't actually have to lift your finger. It's not really impeding your aim, and you can just slide cancel over slide cancel. The same goes for CC jump, CC jump, CC jump, CC jump. But that requires you again to use your thumb, and it gets you off the movement. I think having only one button that you have to press 3 times quick in a row, and we're talking about C, CC, C, CC. So it's not like you just you press it once, twice, once, twice, once, twice, once, twice. Very simple to slide cancel. It's just like once, twice, once, twice. So really, you have like a bop, a bop, bop, a bop. There's a little bit of a pause between that because you don't want to cancel your slide too early. Now let's talk about mouse sensitivity, which is also bound to your mouse space. Mine is 2.5 with 1200 DPI, which leads to 3000 eDPI, because your in-game sensitivity times your DPI of your mouse, your eDPI. Everything between 2000 and 4000 eDPI is fantastic. If you're widely over that, you might either be a wrist aimer or you just have a complete wrong sensitivity. If you're arm aiming, well, arm on the table, or if you're even having a hybrid wrist arm aim, then you should highly think about being between 2000 and 4000 eDPI. Recommend you to get there. I started on 8000 and worked my way down to 3000 eDPI, and it's fantastic now. If you're looking at what I do, this is like kind of a lot of my mouse space. If I'm moving my mouse all the way from all the way left to all the way right, and I'm using the complete mouse space, that would be a 360 turn. And I do use this mouse space actually. So if I'm now running around, you can see my adjustments are like, I really have to cover some space to move, right? It still allows me if I need to be fast. This allows me to go fast, right? But all in all, my movement is very smooth. And especially when you're using a scope aside and you're still having the same movement, right? It's very important because if you're now trying to shoot someone on the distance and your wrist wobbles a little bit, that's okay, right? Your wrist being not perfect wouldn't throw you off. If I have twice the sensitivity now, we'll be looking at jitters like this, like, you know, minimal movement, same minimal movement, bigger jitters, the higher your sensitivity is. And yes, even for sniping, the lower sense is better because especially when you're then aimed on someone's head and you're like, you know, you're moving your wrist minimally, I'm fine. If you have higher sense, it's going to be like, as terrible, right? But if you're going to be like flick shotting left and right, even then you're good because flick shot, you can also go over more distance. So that's something you have to think about. Your mouse space versus what you have. So again, my mouse space going from here, and I'm literally using my whole mouse space, and I'm actually using that while gaming all the way here for 360 degrees. That's 250 in-game sensitivity, 2.5 in-game sensitivity times 1200 dpi with, again, 3000 eDPI. In Vanguard, we have this amazing and extensive gunsmith. Now, in Warzone Pacific, most likely not, because this is really in the Vanguard overlay and everything. I mean, they'll give us the gunsmith from Modern Warfare, and they will just add the bonus attachments. I mean, we've seen it on the other guns, 10 attachments on the other guns, so we'll most likely end up with this. Most important thing is going to be to understand what grip does which. For example, the cover 4 grip gives you vertical and horizontal recoil control. What if it just says +2 recoil control now in Warzone Pacific? So what you would need to do is, we're looking at the cover 4 grip, for example, here it says 9.3% and 2.5%. But if we look at the symbol, it just says +2 recoil control. That's what we're most likely going to get in Warzone CODBR 2. Therefore, it's going to be important to understand what do the grips actually do. You know, what does the recoil control here mean? The +1 accuracy obviously doesn't have a stat. And also this one here reduces recoil, but it just says minus recoil control. So are you going to know what it actually does? If you have a high horizontal recoil gun, which suppressor are you going to take? The Mercury silencer or the MX silencer? The MX silencer does actually 3.6% horizontal recoil control. It doesn't say so, just says accuracy, which the Mercury does horizontal and vertical. So the MX here actually being better. Or do you know that the stabilizer does 7.1% horizontal? No, you don't. You just know +2 accuracy. And these are all important things to be remembering. Obviously, no one expects you to remember this all alone. Therefore, I will create a guide for you that has this all wrapped up. When we know Anthony's going to go for it, but I'll be taking all these grips and I'll actually make a very simple guide with horizontal, vertical, and then plus, or minus. So this one, for example, would get 3 pluses on vertical and 1 plus on horizontal. Whereas the polymer grip gets 1 star on each. And the rubber grip gets plus, and plus. You see where it's going, right? So it's going to be a very simple for you to actually understand what attachment does which. So you're able with this cheat sheet to then easily build your guns. When here, for example, it also says +3 on recoil control and +3 on accuracy. What does that mean? Yeah, it's 4 pluses at least for that. But then you're looking at this one and it does +2 recoil when crouched or prone, accuracy and recoil during sustained fire. That obviously does not have any kind of quantification yet. So what you have to figure out is the +1 accuracy and recoil during sustained fire better than the +3 recoil control in general. Things to figure out. I mean, this says also +1 to initial recoil. It doesn't say anything about a recoil control, right? But you're still getting 6.9 and 9.5%. So all these things, I'm going to create a cheat sheet for you so you know what it actually does do exactly. And that is something to also remember if you've played Vanguard. These things are most likely going to translate over since we're talking about the same engine. Last but not least, the most important and trivial thing, right-click your monitor, go to display settings, advanced display settings, and check if it's actually put to 144 Hertz. That's my one monitor, that's my second monitor, that's my capture card, and that's my third monitor, which is only on 60 Hertz because you can't put, as it seems, 4 screens to 144 Hertz. Do that because I know a lot of you do actually have 144 Hertz screens, but they don't have them put there. And this saves lives. Definitely drop in the comments below if you've done this or not. Ladies and gentlemen, Warzone Pacific awaits us. CODBR is around the corner. Just one more day and we got in. I wish you all a fantastic good day, a good time until Warzone CODBR is out. We're going to start on the 8th, 9 a.m. PT. That would be 6 p.m. my time, and I will be actually straight up live. So if you would be there, Twitch TV Ponyhof, it is going to be, and I will straight up be online for the release, and I'll be supporting you with knowledge. And yes, the loadout website, warzoneloadouts.eu, will also get updated with all the loadouts in the future. I mean, there's going to be 10 attachments, so that's kind of pain. Not sure like how my editor actually can get this done in no time, because right now it's laid out for 5 attachments, but it's actually 10. So that's going to be taking a lot of back-end work. I wish you a fantastic good time. Do these things. Tell me which one you actually have done already, which one you hadn't done, which one you knew about, and have a fantastic good time. Enjoy your day. Come back for the next video. See you soon.